welcome back to Roll for Funny. This is the Christmas cast. I'm Alicia, and I don't actually celebrate Christmas.
I'm Eric, and I also don't celebrate Christmas.
I'm Ryan, and I'm Santa Claus, despite what everyone thinks.
I'm Grayson, and I have a baby bottle pop.
Grayson bottle pop.
Grayson bottle pop. That's good, you guys.
Santa's a god.
That was some good harmony in there.
So, let's go ahead and start off with rolling for funny.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Not
Not
every f***ing time. A 9.
I did too.
Oh, hell yeah.
99.
You got a 7? I critical failed.
Oh, and
You're supposed to be...
no.
this is your cast.
I know.
Oh, no.
I know.
Your phone's gonna die immediately.
Someone lit the fireplace
I think-
coming down the chimney.
I think that we preemptively knew you were going to roll that low because in case anyone listening doesn't know, it took us about 30 minutes to get this episode started.
Yeah, because y'all wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Because I got a baby bottle pop.
Well,
You're the one that got it for me.
I
It's
know.
your
I'm
you
like,
ruined the intro the first time.
She ruined the intro.
Do not make me pull out your government name.
You forgot your name.
No, it's not my name.
The government name's
That's not
Eric.
my name.
Eric.
That's not my name. No, it's
Okay.
actually
Different government
Eric.
name,
They
too.
call me Eric. That's not my name.
Fucking done.
Alrighty, so out of all the people in the table here, I think we've all celebrated Christmas before. Celebrate some traditional form of Christmas. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So what are some holiday traditions that you guys have in your household that maybe not everybody else has?
I could start. So every year on the winter solstice, my family goes out and collects a wild piece of mistletoe and hangs it above the door. And you leave it there all year until the next winter solstice.
Interesting. I actually have a story about mistletoe.
Yeah, really?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me.
I hate you, Eric.
Tell
Okay,
me.
Shut up. Christmas.
So,
It's Eric's making me laugh.
you two cannot be across the table from each other anymore. I'm going to put up a divider. Nobody's going to see each other.
If he'd stop laughing at me, I would stop laughing.
Eric, turn around. No, I'm serious. Turn around. Don't look at her.
Just look at Ryan.
We're going to put your mic in the closet.
Face the corner.
Give him a headset so he can hear what's happening.
My fucking head hurts already.
Good. Shut up. Okay, so it's funny that mistletoe is a symbol of romance because, of course, you kiss somebody under mistletoe for Christmas because it's a parasitic plant. And its importance in winter festivities actually goes all the way back to Norse mythology and the god Loki, which already tells you it's just bad freaking news. So I'm just going to read this off. As the story goes, another god called Balder was driven to paranoia by visions of his own death. His mother, the goddess Frigg, made every earthly object vow to never harm him. As an adult, Balder became known for his invincibility until Loki turned up and fashioned a weapon out of mistletoe, which is the one thing that had not made the vow. Balder was killed, and Frigg's tears of woe were caught on the mistletoe branches, turning into the white, pearl-like berries, symbolizing her love for him. So think about that next time you're smooching somebody under it.
I just like to point out that the mother's name was Frigg.
Frig off,
What
Randy.
the frig? Yeah.
She's a goddess.
She's a friggin' goddess.
Sorry, I was
my
trying to get
God.
that water for so long.
Christ. All right, Ryan, do you guys do anything unique in your house?
Honestly, not really. Well, there's one, and Grayson hates it because she won't let me do it. 'Cause
What are you talking about?
she loves gigantic Christmas trees. The one we have now is, 9 feet tall?
It's 6 feet tall.
It's no.
Wait, is it
no.
is it bigger?
7 foot max.
I say, is it bigger or smaller than my Christmas tree?
It's smaller than your Christmas tree.
Yeah, my Christmas tree is 7.5 feet.
I think ours is 7. I'm pretty sure.
Anyway,
I looked at the box.
Size doesn't matter.
yeah, so exactly. So you should agree with me on
my
this.
God, shut up,
My
Ryan.
tradition, or my mom's tradition, is we always had like a tiny Christmas tree that sat on the coffee table. Or
Was that like the only Christmas tree?
Yeah. It wasn't like that always. Like when I was a kid, of course we had Christmas trees.
Yeah.
But like when me and my sister got to the age where we're like, yeah, it's Christmas. Like 9-ish, 10-ish years old. Like it just turned into like a.
Oh wow.
That's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
Me and
honestly.
Eric actually did that our first year at
Yeah.
our first house together. We had a tiny Christmas tree on our kitchen table. On this table, actually.
Aw.
I like it. I like the tiny Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I've always wanted. I have too many ornaments for a tiny Christmas tree, and I collect them for like. I have one for like our first place together, and then a wedding one, and one for each of the cats every year, and like. I don't know, it would fill up to the point where it wouldn't be usable. And plus, like, when I have kids, I want them to experience, like, the big tree like I did. Because it's, like, towering over you.
Yeah.
There's a tree in your house. Like
Like your parents picking you up so you can put the star on it and all that.
So like the tree thing is cool and can be celebrated for like a lot of things. Like I remember a Reddit story of someone who not only did they put one up for like Christmas, but like they put one up for every holiday.
yeah, Lana does that. My friend Lana. Well, I don't know if she changes the decorations per
Yeah.
holiday, but she keeps the tree up all year. She just decorates it for Christmas and then just has a naked tree the
Yeah,
rest of the
'cause
year
it was
as like
like-
a houseplant decorative kind of thing.
There was a story from someone who was like talking about when they were a kid and the first time they realized that nobody else put up a tree for every holiday.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
were like, when are you guys putting up your Halloween tree?
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right? Well, and
And
I've
they're
known
like-
a couple people that just keep like a tree from Halloween to Christmas, and they
Yeah.
have a Halloween tree and then a Christmas tree.
Yeah, and that's cool because
It's the holiday knife. Not every
Not the
family
poop
has
knife.
one. Yeah.
Not the poop knife. Somebody call Morgan from Two Hot Takes.
I'm so lost. Too
Oh,
hot takes, I
no.
guess.
You've never heard of the poop knife?
No.
Oh, that is such a Reddit
It's
classic.
a super long story short. Basically, some guy wrote into Reddit saying that like I was this many years old when I found out not every family has a poop knife.
Basically,
because-
his whole family takes massive shits, and
Yeah.
so they have a dedicated knife in their house so that they can cut the shit so it can be flushed.
And they all share it. And he thought that every family had that, and then only recently discovered that no, that was just his family.
Because I think it was like he was at somebody's house or
Yeah,
had
and
a
He
roommate
asked
or
him, "Where's your
something."
poop knife?"
Yeah,
Yeah, he was at somebody else's house and took a massive dump and was like, "Hey, can you bring me the knife?"
You're like, what?
Or the
Yeah.
poop knife. Well, and now naturally, because that story got so big, somebody has made a branded
Yeah.
poop knife.
It's called a toilet brush.
You don't. Absolutely
no.
not.
Bristles.
No, this is like before
You better
they
not
flush.
be doing that with our toilet brush.
You know I
That's
don't
not
take-
what it's for.
Okay, you don't waffle stomp in the freaking toilet. That's for the shower.
What?
It's a tactic when you're getting ready in the morning.
I know what waffle stomping is. You also better not ever do that in our shower.
I'm gonna shoot you guys the picture from the official poop knife.
I don't like that you didn't
website.
fucking say anything in response to that.
It's okay.
You haven't known about it until now. So like,
You better not
must be
actually
pretty
do
good at
that.
it.
Don't worry
I
about
don't
it.
actually do that.
Okay.
Alrighty, Eric, do you have anything?
Actual special stuff for Christmas, no. I guess the thing that I would say would be more for whenever we start talking about like what we normally do on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So I'm gonna save it for that.
Okay.
But usually, no. Like I think, had a kind of normal-ish Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. So
I feel like we kind of did too. So then I have the question: do you guys do like a Christmas dinner and then a Christmas morning, or is it all one? Or like how? Well, like what's the like? I think I said earlier the order of operations of like your Christmas festivities.
So, like, in childhood, we always did it early in the morning. Like 5 a.m., me and my brother were up.
Oh
like,
yeah,
wanting to
because you're
open
like
gifts.
excited for
Yeah.
Santa
you're
and
up
all
and
that.
you're throwing bows. Like I want to
Yeah.
open presents now.
And we always, we were allowed to get our stockings before everybody woke up, but you weren't allowed to open any gifts till the parents woke up and like were there to watch and everything. So we'd get our stockings, and then like my mom would make something for breakfast, and normally like around 10 or 11, the rest of the family would come over. We'd go to my grandma's or something. Like that was my childhood. Nowadays, like we me and him kind of trade off on families. Like someone will do breakfast and someone does dinner.
Yeah.
So we kind of have both.
And you
we
guys all
just-
do it Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for the most part. I think last year we did Christmas Eve with your family
Yeah.
just because that's when they were doing it. I think because of family being in town or something. Your
And we try
your
to
brother-
trade the holidays too. So like Thanksgiving with one, Christmas with the
That's
other.
smart.
or like preference wise, because we've so far been able to do Christmas with both every time, but Thanksgiving's a little harder. But this year we did Thanksgiving with both too.
Yeah. That was my bad.
Wick.
You're bad for what?
He hit the table.
Oh.
That was my shoe.
I slapped the table earlier. It's okay. So, Christmas, nice.
Thanks.
That was pretty weak. 3 out of 10.
I went really far off the mic to try to.
No push
Save
whatsoever. Christmas for me, I feel like from what I've talked to people is very different for the way my family did Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Is we got our stockings, so like stockings and breakfast, and then did all of our presents on Christmas Eve.
Wow.
So presents from mom and dad were Christmas Eve, is how we always did it. So like wrapped presents from them, and then we did dinner on Christmas Day. So like Christmas Day, we would wake up and we would have unwrapped presents from Santa. So like we would have presents like kind of scattered out wherever with our name on it. And that was the presents from Santa Day. And then we would have Christmas dinner that day as far as I can remember. Like I have an actual, like a vivid memory of waking up when we were living with my grandmother in Oklahoma, of the presents kind of being spread out everywhere. And that's normally how we did it. I think we had Christmas like breakfast, but usually Christmas dinner, presents from mom and dad on Christmas Eve though. So like not
That's
all
cool.
to Christmas Day.
We sometimes were allowed to open a present on Christmas Eve. Not every year, but sometimes.
We did occasional presents on Christmas Eve. We usually did pretty much everything on Christmas, though. But we didn't do family Christmas on Christmas. We had to plan it sometime in December around my mom's cousin's schedule. So he worked for Publix, maybe, at the time. He doesn't work for them anymore. But he didn't always have a consistent schedule where everybody could, like, see him. So we always planned for when he was available. And we would go to my aunt's and uncle's house, and we'd all have, like, a family Christmas there. And my parents would be, like, bring, like, one present from our house, and we'd get presents from everybody else. And then we would have our Christmas morning. We did presents, stockings, everything, and we only do breakfast. And now we actually don't see that part of the family anymore because mild family drama, but nothing serious. Just we don't talk. So now we only do like Christmas Day, and it's always at like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And we usually go to my parents' house, and then this year we get to host.
Yeah, so like we're going to have breakfast usually is what we do first thing when we get there.
Yeah, we'll cook breakfast as soon as we get there,
Something
and then
like-
once everybody's here and settled in, we'll start doing presents and stuff.
Yeah, it's normally just like finger foods, like
Yeah,
like
we'll
pigs
make
in a blanket, random stuff like that.
Yeah, pigs in a blanket, sausage balls, some scrambled eggs, like easy stuff that we can just kind of eat on the couch.
Yeah.
We all just kind of like chill on the couches at my parents' house.
I think we all have sausage balls in common for Christmas.
My mom makes the best.
Your mom does make really
You're
good
going to try that new
sausage balls.
recipe this week.
Yeah, we've always made the frozen ones, but I saw a recipe on TikTok, so I'm going to try to make them from scratch this year.
Oh, we always make them from scratch.
Really?
They're easy and they're so good. Your mom said she's going to make hers with pimento cheese this year,
Oh,
which I'm pretty excited about.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Yep. So that'll be fun. And then I think my mom's going to make some too, like her traditional ones. She always does spicy ones. They're
Yeah.
so good.
What was the recipe you saw?
I'm not fully sure. I think it had Cheddar Bay biscuit mix in it.
That's pretty much
Yeah.
So if you do like Bisquick or like the like Red Lobster cheese biscuit mix or whatever with sausage and just like roll them into balls, it's
Pretty much
Yeah.
the
yeah.
same thing. I
Just
think.
mix some shredded cheese in there. That's
you
it.
pick
Oh.
the biscuit mix and then pick
Yeah.
the sausage. Yeah.
They're good, but you can change the cheese to like anything. Like cream cheese is really good in
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Just bust a little like cayenne nut in those though. It's so good. Just like a little poof.
Bust a little cayenne nut in those.
Oh my god.
If we weren't already voting on the quote board,
Yeah, that would be up there.
go up there.
I'm so excited to start a new one for the new year.
Actually, I'm going to put that in my notes so I can put it on there
Yeah.
for the new year. Damn it. Since I already started the vote.
That would be a good
Little
title
cayenne.
for this episode, though. Bust a little cayenne nut.
Well,
that should be the title. So traditions have changed as I've gotten older, though. So like now that I'm not a kid anymore, like instead of doing a stocking, like my mom still does a stocking for us every year, which is honestly like the best gift. But she does it in like a gift bag instead of actual stockings, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
still all the same stuff. But a lot of the time it's like some bigger items or something that like, you know, we might need for the house or whatever.
Yeah.
But she does really, really great stockings. But we've also like every other year to every third year not really done gifts. And we've done like like just a white elephant type thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Or a draw a name kind of thing where like each person gets like a really nice gift.
Yeah.
So I honestly like those have been some of my favorite Christmases because my mom's great at gift giving. My parents are just really, really good at it. But like there's a lot of people that aren't great at gift giving.
Yeah.
Me.
And I don't mean to like, it's gifts, you know, like, so I hate to sound like first world problems, like these are crappy gifts or
Yeah.
not even crappy gifts, but just something that like maybe I already had or I really, really don't need.
Or
and
it wasn't very thoughtful.
Yeah. And I have like this horrible sense of obligation to hold on to it.
Yeah.
Because they thought of me and bought me something. You know what I mean?
So I have so many things just over the course of that conversation. 'Cause
Yeah.
starting with the stockings, my mom had these gigantic stockings.
Oh, wow.
And so she always like loaded me and my brother up.
Oh.
And the year she stopped doing it was a few years ago. And I was like, no, I want my giant stocking. I don't care if there's exactly one baby bottle pop in the bottom of it. I want a giant stocking.
Yeah.
Because we've had these things our whole life. So we do regular stockings now.
Yeah.
And then nobody has ever done a stocking for my mom. So I started doing that last year because my mom never gets a stocking. And I always
I
felt
did that one year
really bad
too.
about it.
Yeah. It
And she was
fun.
really like happy because she never gets a stocking.
Yeah.
And then what was the last thing that you were just saying? Because that made me think of something else too.
Like obligation to hold on to gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we started learning about the minimalism stuff, something that they talked about regarding gift giving was about asking for like experiences. So instead of like giving me something like let's go to a movie together or buy me a dinner, let's spend time together. So like I took my dad to see the first and the newest trilogy of Star Wars that came out. And my parents got us. They couldn't buy the ticket because they didn't know what show we wanted to see, but my mom gave me a gift card so that we could buy tickets to go to Shakespeare's Tavern.
Which was
cool.
so fun.
It was really,
wanting
really
to go
cool.
to that.
I'd never gone before, and it was amazing. And we got there super early, so we got like a front row seat, and like one of the actors like did a little monologue to me, and I was like, because it was which was it?
Oh, God.
Oh, God. It was a comedy, but I can't remember what it was. It was something Love's Lost, I think.
Uh-huh.
Forgive me. I don't know Shakespeare like that.
me neither.
Labor?
To be or not to be slapping these
Yeah, I don't remember, but it was really awesome. We got really good seats. The food was good. It was a lot of fun overall. And honestly, it was just better than us receiving something and then being like, okay, well, I guess we'll put this in the kitchen or like we'll put it away.
Sorry, Love's Labor's Lost.
Yeah.
Which was very funny.
Hot take though, I kind of like think Shakespeare wasn't that great of a writer. Like, I know that's like ridiculous.
I don't know any of his work, so.
Well, they made us study so much of it in high school. And I just remember being like, none of this seems very like informed or.
I feel like this is so off the topic of Christmas, but
I know.
I feel like Shakespeare got big because he made the Globe Theater.
Yeah.
And because he had this theater company that became so influential and it was all based on his writing. And so because he had this theater company, that's why he got big, not necessarily because his writing was better than anybody else's.
Have you seen the conspiracy that he never actually wrote anything?
Yes.
It's really interesting and like convincing.
Yeah.
But regardless, like let's not dive too far down into Shakespeare.
We'll save that for conspiracy cast next year.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I always thought like the act of watching a play, even if it's poorly written, is fun.
Yeah.
But that like we had to learn him as a writer, and I was like, he's just
Yeah.
not that talented to me. Like the
I
stories
slept
aren't
through
that great.
all of it.
Like,
Yeah.
I guess from a certain lens, it's interesting, but it's not something that I think is necessary to be studied.
Yeah.
Versus like,
I think it was interesting for that time.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like versus reading books like Fahrenheit 501, 401?
451.
451, thank
Yeah.
you. That was a great book. Every kid in high school should read that book. That's
Yeah.
a fantastic
Don't even know
book.
what that is.
It's a great book that the whole lesson behind it is just have some free thought, critical
Yeah.
thinking. They took books away from people was what it was. That's the
I thought it was about
Temperature
fire
that
trucks.
books burn at.
yeah, it's the temperature that paper burns at. So the whole thing was that they were taking informed decision away from people by taking away books. People weren't allowed to educate themselves. It was illegal to own books.
I just assumed it was about firefighters.
Christ. No, it's a very, very good book.
You didn't have to read it?
No. But
Shame.
I make that correlation because there was like a TV show with Dennis Leary. It was like Fahrenheit.
9/11.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
that's the only thing I could think of the whole time you were talking.
Yeah.
But I didn't even watch that.
Yeah, Fahrenheit 451 is a
No.
very good book.
We had to read, what was that stupid book about the,
If you say Animal Farm, I'm going to lose my mind.
what is Animal Farm?
You didn't read Animal Farm?
Are you kidding me? What did you learn in high school?
I
slept.
never read it either.
I learned how to sleep on a desk.
I feel like I read all of the basic
Animal Farm
high
was
school.
good.
What is that
It was good.
stupid book about?
Gone with the Wind.
In 1984. They did not make you read Gone with the Wind in high school. Although I'm trying to work through Gone
What
with
is
the Wind.
1984?
It's also George Orwell. It's the same person that wrote Animal
What is it
Farm.
about?
It's all political satire.
Yeah.
1984 is not supposed to be a rule book. There's like jokes all over the internet
It's-
about.
It's it's pretty crazy.
Do we want to bring it back to Christmas?
Yeah, we probably should bring it back to
Mary
Christmas.
Chrysler.
Merry Crisis.
Happy Christmas. What?
Okay, what is the best Christmas gift you ever received?
Am I going first? You
Yeah.
guys both looked at me.
You've been going first this whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, we've just been going in a round.
So when I was like probably 11, I don't remember how old I was. On Christmas Eve, my parents were like, we're all going to open one family gift together. And I was like, why? Because we'd never done that before. And like, you know, we weren't like wealthy or anything. So, you know, we didn't have a lot of like super fancy video games or anything. But we got the entire set, like the gift set for Rock Band with like the drums, two
that's
guitars, and the
awesome.
microphone.
That's really cool.
And the whole family played as like a band, like till like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
For like on until well into Christmas morning, and they were like, "You got to go to bed, like Santa's coming." And yeah, like it was the coolest gift ever because like the whole family just had like a great time with it for hours and hours
That
and
just
hours.
tells me your parents wanted to open that present so
Yeah.
bad. They could not wait for the morning.
Oh, and you gotta think like my parents were probably like in their 20s still. At
Yeah.
that like my mom had me at 20, so like if I was like like 11, she would have been like 31.
Yeah.
So like she's like our age. So obviously like yeah, she was probably like, I want to play this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the singer. My mom played drums.
That's freaking awesome.
My brother and dad played guitar. It was really fun. We had a
That
good
is
time.
Sick.
It was the coolest Christmas gift that I feel like in general. Like I've gotten a lot of cool Christmas gifts in the past and everything, but that one was a
That's
really
pretty neat.
awesome memory.
My best Christmas gift ever came late, but it was when you said yes when I asked you to marry me. No, I'm just kidding. My grandma got me a guitar amp for when I was like 12 years old, and that was when I first started playing guitar. I got a guitar amp and a Digitech Metal Zone pedal, and it was sick, dude. I f***ing like ripped up guitar like that whole f***ing like week of Christmas. Anyway, go ahead.
That's awesome.
That's really cute.
And I
babe.
still play guitar to this day.
So, like a good influential, like life-changing present.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember.
So that was your first guitar?
No, I already had the guitar. So really, really quick backstory. The guitar my dad bought back in the 80s. It was a 1986 Fender Japanese Strat. And this is the one I still have at home. It's
The red one?
Candy Apple Red, yeah. And he was like selling it. My grandfather was like, no, you probably don't want to sell that. I'll buy it from you and just hold on to it. And then when I was old enough to realize, like, what is this? Like, he was like, well, just take it here. And then grandma was like, well, you're going to need all the stuff to go with it. So she took me to Record Heaven in Griffin and was like, pick out whatever you need for it. Your
Which
limits.
grandma was this?
Granny Helen.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's really cute.
I still got that guitar. That was like an inside laugh. What was that?
I don't know. I'm trying to also think because like everyone's. I like that laugh.
It was like,
I have. I also think I was like I took a drink too at the same time, so I don't know what it was, but like I don't remember Christmas presents. So
Like not even in recent years? Wow. Love you too.
I'm bad at it too. I don't remember what you got me last year.
Last year, Eric got
Like,
beard
gave me
beads for
PC.
Christmas.
yeah,
He got you what?
I got him beard beads for Christmas. Like little Viking beads for his beard.
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, those were cool, but like
My dad, I got them for my dad too. My dad wears them constantly still.
Yeah.
I just don't like the way it makes my beard feel.
Like heavy.
Not heavy. It's just I don't know. I
Like tension on it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I know how to do hair wraps like from the 90s if you ever want one of those.
No, thank you. But if you got a bejeweler or a bedazzler, I'm in.
Fun.
It's really hard because the way I remember things is weird. Because you brought up the Shakespeare's Tavern. And that was really fun. And that was a present that they got for us. But, like, trying to remember any of the individual presents or, like, any of the individual memories that came from any of them is extremely difficult.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of anything other than what was mentioned here that I had received.
Yeah.
So...
Well, so then one of the best presents I've ever been given is the present that you gave me.
Oh.
And
Okay,
shockingly,
now I feel bad.
well, and shockingly, it's not my master sword.
Yeah.
Because I did cry when you gave me my master sword.
Yeah.
But one year we were like kind of down on money. And like last minute, he hadn't done any shopping. And he like got with my mom and went to Target. Like he doesn't even remember. And there was this giant ass box that I opened.
Oh.
And he got me a full collection of the Chrissy Teigen pots and pans in the color that I wanted, which were very pricey, even though she's been canceled and they're not in Target anymore. But they're so well made.
Yeah.
Like, I know people don't like Chrissy Teigen, but that bitch made some good ass pots. And like, you know how like your handle's always loose on your pot? Mm-hmm. Never had that problem.
We've had those for, what, 3 years now?
I think so.
3 or 4?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're still amazing.
Several years. They're great. I love the color of them.
We
They're
ruined 2
super
of
well
them.
made. Only the bottoms.
No, the actual pans that we use for cooking
no,
breakfast
you
sausage.
ruined one of them. Ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're really, really great pots and pans. But Eric got them for me like last minute as a like really good gift, and I like cried
Aw.
because it was a good gift. It was something I could use, and I use them every single day.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, she loves to cook. Or likes cooking, is very good at it. Wasn't like a thing. Like, oh, hey, here's pots and pans.
Yeah. I mean, like, before that, we had, like, a really cheap set from Walmart. And, like, they did the job, but, like, all of our handles were loose. And I'm sure some of them were probably damaged on the nonstick coating. And so it's nice to have nice pots and pans when it's something that, A, you do almost every day, and B, like, it matters.
I'm glad that I have a friend like you that actually cooks every day, or most days.
Yeah.
Like, you cook a lot, and, like, people don't understand that you have to have decent cookware.
Decent cookware, like, improves the quality of your life.
Yeah.
Like, it just does. If it's something that you have to interact with daily and you don't buy something of good quality, it really does make your life harder.
I've been amazed by that set that we got for our wedding.
The yellow one that my
Yeah.
grandma got us.
Because like
What
they're
are
not
they?
necessarily
Sorry,
like
That was Grayson.
That was Grayson.
I'm just going to go ahead and announce that now so I can't be berated later after we're editing.
sorry. But like they're not necessarily like the most expensive pots and pans ever, but just whatever they're made. I guess they're ceramic.
Yeah.
And like you like nothing ever sticks to them ever.
Yeah.
Like when you go to clean them, like if you hit it with a scrub daddy, it's just off. It's not there
Yeah.
anymore.
Shout out to Scrub Daddy. I
Shout
fucking
out to
love
Scrub
Daddy.
Scrub Daddy.
I love them.
Oh, no.
Scrub me daddy.
Sponsor us, Scrub Daddy.
Well, cool. So then let's dive in a little bit to the history of Christmas. It has actually an even longer history than I thought, or at least there's more to it than I thought. So who wants to guess where some of the origins came from?
I won't because you told me.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Ryan.
wild guess. Something pagan.
Yes.
I know like specific things like why people brought Christmas trees into their house and stuff like that, but not so much. Like I used to know because
Yeah.
my mom taught me as like the real history of Christmas, not the Christian history. So I remember like reading because we were homeschooled, so like around the holidays, like
Yeah.
within the couple weeks, instead of doing bedtime stories, we'd read like history of stuff, whatever was
Yeah.
going on at the time. So like if it was Thanksgiving, we'd read about like Thanksgiving celebrations that are different or,
Yeah.
you know, things like that. So, and like Christmas around the world. Like I remember learning about like Krampus and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Krampus.
As a little kid.
Which
so
like most of us didn't even know until we were adults and they made
Yeah.
a movie about it. So that's really cool.
yeah. Yeah. And there was some other one where it's like a guy that it's similar to Krampus. Actually, a lot of them are similar. Santa here is like this bubbly, nice guy, but in a lot of other cultures, he's not.
And with the research that I did, I actually have a level of belief now that Christmas is a very American holiday, the way that we celebrate it now, with how it's changed throughout history. But so it does have pagan backgrounds. It started with the winter solstice, which was celebrated on around December 21st, so about the time of the year where your days start to get longer again. So there's a lot of things that go into that. So a lot of people know about Yule, which is celebrated by Norse people, in Scandinavia.
Why did you say it like that? In Scandinavia.
Because
she's a scientist.
Scandinavia.
She's a scientist?
Yeah.
Scientists speak like that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, don't you know? That's how Lauren talks all the time.
Oh, shit, okay, fine.
But yeah, so they would have the winter solstice. A lot of people know about Yule and burning Yule logs and things like that. So the Yule logs were traditionally actual logs, and they would burn it, and it would they could burn up to about 12 days. They were so big.
It was called a eulogy. I'm sorry.
Roll.
I'm sorry. 3.
Yeah. Not funny. Not funny.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
That was funny.
It was worth the interruption.
It was worth it. Okay. So it said that in recognition of the return of the sun, fathers and sons would bring home the large logs and they would set them on fire. They could burn up to about 12 days. And they believed that all of the sparks that came off of the fire represented a new pig or calf that would be born in the new year. And a lot of Europe as well. It was celebrated that time of year, not because of Christmas and Christianity as we know it, but because it was the time of year that they would slaughter a lot of cows because they didn't want to feed them over the winter. And so for a lot of people, that was the only time of year that they had access to fresh meat. And so, of course, that would be cause for celebration. And then in addition to that, for our beer drinkers, that is about the time of year that the fermentation process would be done and your beer's ready to drink. So you got meat, you got beer, and you got a whole lot of happy people.
That sounds like the dude's dream holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Meat and beer. Maybe you'll get lucky with some cheese or crackers and have a whole little charcuterie.
I don't know. All the cows are dead. We're permanently cheese.
Charcuterie board. So then turning to another part of the world in Rome, they celebrated, I think it's pronounced Saturnalia. I might be wrong about that, but it was to honor the god Saturn, who's the god of agriculture. And I thought this was super cool that during this time they actually kind of turned their social rules upside down. So like servants and slaves would essentially be freed for a brief period of time and be treated as equals or as masters and would be welcomed to feast and served as though they were maybe not necessarily nobility, but not slaves. Treated a whole lot better for a certain amount of time. Children were celebrated. It was less like a family Christmas, more like a Mardi Gras party, is how it's literally described. That they would just turn the hell up for this amount of time over the winter time. And of course, it was a lot. What?
Titties.
That's what I thought you said.
Titties. Christian titty.
You gotta roll. For that. Roll.
Yeah.
I already rolled a 1 today. 13.
I guess it's funny. It's a little funny.
Wait, what was the scaling? There was scaling.
Generally, it's 15 plus. It's like, yeah, that's funny.
Well, no, because
10 or higher is like,
somebody broke it up at one point because someone was like, it's
really early on, but it was because we said a guy's funny scale starts at 10, a female funny scale starts at 15.
Makes sense.
That's what was said.
Don't look at me like that.
All right, so
don't look at me like that. You amaze me.
I hate you guys. So in early Christianity, Easter was the only holiday that was really celebrated, but the actual birth of Jesus wasn't. So Pope Julius I decided he was just going to assign a birthday for Jesus. What?
Pulp Jesus.
Pulp Jesus.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulpy Jesus.
Ew.
You want some Jesus pulp in your orange juice?
is wrong with you two today? Normally it's him. Why is Ryan the good one today?
I don't know. I was just thinking about like little Jesus faces in your orange juice glass. Like,
That was a lot better than mine. I was
pulpy.
thinking of just little Jesus pulpy pieces.
ew.
This is why you
My
don't.
wine.
This is why you don't sell anything in snake oil.
You.
Oh my God,
Orange juice.
Oh my god.
Ryan!
Shout out to Dawson.
It took me forever, but I squeezed the joke out.
Juice.
I squeezed the joke out.
He was joke constipated, but now he's
Yeah.
got joke diarrhea.
That's why I wasn't laughing at y'all. I was like,
he broke
you got a
the
joke.
he broke the joke cork.
Back to Christmas.
Okay.
Back to crisis.
So Pope Julius I chose December 25th and kind of absorbed pagan festival activities into Christmas. Control
Stole
yourself,
it.
Eric. Yeah. Have you guys seen that TikTok that it's literally like pagans celebrating Yule and it's like Christians around the corner and they
Yes.
go away real quick?
I've seen that. That's hilarious.
It's pretty good. So by the Middle Ages, Christianity had, for the most part, replaced pagan religion. So they would attend church, then celebrate crazy in a drunken carnival-like atmosphere, similar to Mardi Gras. Titties again.
I didn't say it this time.
I saw it.
Said it.
I felt it.
So people were turning up for Christmas. Now, going towards the early 17th century, a wave of religious reform changed everything, and Christmas was canceled.
Ooh,
The Puritans said, "Not my good Christian household."
not in my Christian Minecraft server.
Thank you. So yeah, so that started originally in Europe, and then when the Pilgrims came to America, they also did not celebrate Christmas. Said a holiday, and the church. And in fact, from 1659 to 1681, celebrating Christmas was illegal in Boston. You could be fined 5 shillings
Oh no.
for
5
showing
shillings.
any sort of like festivity.
Oh no, 5 shillings.
I'm sorry.
Like you know any measure of how much
That joke is going to cost you 5 shillings. Shut
Hang on.
up.
Let me get my inflation calculator.
How much is 5 shillings?
I'm
like
actually
a nickel.
I'm actually curious.
I am too, actually.
All
Please
right.
look that up while she
Look that up
continues.
while I continue. So, going towards the
said.
19th century, when you're seeing a really, really large disparity between poor people and rich people, and there started to be riots in the wintertime when circumstances were a lot harder, somebody decided that we're just going to reinvent Christmas as a family holiday.
Hallmark?
No, actually, it was a guy named Washington Irving.
Washington Irving.
Yeah, so he wrote the Sketchbook of Geoffrey Crayon, which is a series of stories about celebrating Christmas in an English manor house.
Sounds like the name of a special needs kid.
Jeffrey Cran.
It does, like a cartoonized, like
I mean, this was
caricature of
written
a
in
special needs kid.
1819. Come on.
Jeffrey Crayon.
Okay, so
Sounds like a kid trying to sound like he's older. My name's Jeffrey Cran.
He's like trying to buy an R-rated movie ticket. What's your name? If you don't have your ID, Jeffrey. Jeffrey what? Crayon.
that's the definition of 2 toddlers in a trench coat.
Get out.
Yeah, Jeffrey Crayon.
Yeah. Okay. So he wrote this book which depicted Christmas as peaceful and warm-hearted and like a holiday that brings people together. And it worked because capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
So they spread this story like the freaking plague. And then you had other stories come along, like A Christmas Carol, which further that narrative. And so it says here, too, the family was also becoming less disciplined and more sensitive to the emotional needs of children during the early 1800s. So, you know, we're getting out of that children are to be seen and not heard kind of era.
Yeah.
And so Christmas provided families with a day where they could lavish attention and gifts on their children without appearing to spoil them.
That's cute.
How many are there?
So I got multiple answers, so take it for what it's
37.
worth.
Counted them myself.
One source on Google said that 5 shilling today is worth 9 cents. Another source said it was about $40. And then another source said it was about 50 cents. So somewhere between 9 cents and $40
Wow.
is what it would cost you. I mean, so at a maximum, $40 is what it would cost you. I'd pay $40 to celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I pay more than that to celebrate it now. So
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I wonder how many shillings like a $1,000 Christmas budget is. like modern times, you know?
can't calculate those.
It's at least
kinds of
5.
figures.
Huh?
It's at least 5.
Yeah, it's at least
At least
5.
5. Yeah. Good job.
Wow.
Good
Yeah.
job, Jeffrey fucking Crayon.
Fuck you.
Good job, Sherlock.
Sherlock. Christ.
Can't say that.
Okay,
Not in the month of
Sherlock.
December.
Goodness gracious.
Cheesy crust.
I thought, okay, quick side note story. When I was a little kid, anytime my mom would start to get mad, she'd say, Jesus Christ. And like, it bothered me. Like, I didn't know what Jesus was or anything. 'Cause
Yeah.
I didn't grow up in a Christian household at all. But like, I knew that when she said that, it meant she was frustrated about something. And so I'd get like anxious about it. Like, oh, my mom's upset. Like, she's going to get mad at me. Or like, she is mad at me
Yeah.
or something. And so one day I told her, like, Mommy, I don't like when you say Jesus Christ. I always thought it was Jesus Christ. It's a weird childhood memory of mine.
That's cute. I don't like it when you say Jesus Christ. Okay, so Americans are like, "F- yeah, Christmas, family holiday. And started to look towards immigrants and the Catholic and Episcopalian churches to see how it should be celebrated. And so we kind of like built it all around that. So then they go into like where Santa Claus came from, which of course St. Nicholas was a real person in Turkey. So he was actually a monk. And he gave away all of his inherited wealth and then traveled around helping the poor and sick.
I thought he was a turkey.
Roll.
Sorry. So sorry. Oh, man, that is a 6.
Not funny.
Not funny.
And then, so in 1822, a poem was written called An Account from a Visit from St. Nicholas, which is more popularly known by its first line, "'Twas the night before Christmas."
Aw.
So that kind of instilled the vision of Santa Claus. And then it was immortalized by a cartoonist named Thomas Nast in 1881 when he like drew the jolly fat man in the red suit. And yeah, that's the history of Christmas. And now it's ruined by capitalism.
Hell yeah. Capitalism.
Hell yeah, brother.
My stuff, brother.
Make you feel good.
Cool. So does anybody want to guess how many real Christmas trees are sold in the United States every year?
How many?
Over 9,000.
Well, good
That
job.
is correct.
Awesome.
To an extent.
Sherlock.
Sherlock.
I would like assume. So I'm gonna go like actual analytical here. So I wonder what like the U.S. population, like what the census was. What was the latest census? Does
I don't
anyone
know. I'm not looking that up for the sake of this.
It's got to be in the hundreds of millions
I think it's over
Like,
a
I'm
billion.
pretty sure we have at least a couple billion people.
because the world is like 7 billion right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Well, it was like,
Now it's like 8. I
Years
think as
ago,
of this
yeah.
year, it's like 8 billion. That's so many people.
All right. So,
I'm gonna just throw a number out there: 750 million trees a year.
I know what Eric's going to say. It's at least 5.
I know the answer.
so you shot a little high.
Yeah.
It's 25 to 30 million real trees.
Oh, it's not even
Wow.
100 millions.
Yeah. So are sold in the U.S.
That's just real trees.
Yeah.
every year.
plastic
There are
ones.
about 15,000 Christmas tree farms to supply that demand, and the trees usually have to grow about 4 to 15 years before they're sold.
which is freaking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a pain in the ass farming job. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not a pain. You just wait for 14 or 15 years, but you don't get to make any money on your profit or any money on your product.
Well, the people that do that kind of stuff generally have jobs and they just buy a huge amount of land, plant it as like a, hey, in 4 years, I'm going to make this huge profit.
Yeah.
15
You know?
years.
Well, and then like you still need something to do when it's not Christmas tree season.
Yeah.
True.
So.
Sounds
Cool.
like a,
Nice.
Wow.
Thanks.
Does anybody know when the first eggnog was made in the U.S.?
Ooh, I love eggnog.
1910.
It's a little late.
18. Oh, okay. 1881.
1832.
You were all a couple hundred years off.
Really?
17?
1607 in Jamestown.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like,
What?
I forget how old things are.
The first eggnog was made in the United States was consumed in Captain John Smith's 1607 Jamestown settlement.
Eggnog's so fucking
Does it share
good.
like what the original
Good.
recipe was? Because I bet
Wrong.
you it's nothing like
It
what it
does
is
not.
today.
I bet you it's literally just.
Well, real eggnog has like raw egg in it.
Yeah,
yeah, they poured eggnog in a cup.
that's what you do with all eggnog. You pour it in a cup and drink it.
Okay.
They found eggnog and they were like, oh, this might be good.
Then they started planting eggnog trees everywhere.
And farmers throughout the year when it's not eggnog tree season,
It comes
just
from-
work regular jobs.
It comes from
They just
certain
egg
types
cows.
of
They throw eggs at cows
Yeah.
in the fall so that in the winter they can squeeze eggnog
Yeah,
out
it's
of
just
them.
like you get chocolate milk from brown cows.
Yeah.
I hate it
Eggnog
here.
from certain cows that you throw eggs at.
What do you call a cow with no legs?
Ground beef.
Ground beef.
What do you call a cow with 2 legs?
Lean beef.
What do you call a cow during an earthquake? Milkshake.
I hate it here. I hate it here.
Can stay though.
I hate you so much. All right. And do you know when the Rockefeller Christmas tree tradition was started?
1910.
2004.
1832.
He's the closest. It was 1931.
Wow.
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 So that is it for our Christmas history lesson. What? Oh, you want to high
Stop
five
squeaking
over
your
wow?
chair.
Oh, I
Mr.
thought it was the door.
No, he's Mr. Don't mess up the mics. Don't make noise you're not supposed to.
Oh, you're not going to hear
And
that.
he's just squeaking away.
I
I
hope we
can't
do.
wait.
I hope we do.
I know. I hope you're like, you're not going to hear that.
We're not going to hear it, and I know for 2 reasons. One,
Why?
you're not going to hear it in the mic because it's just not going to come through. And 2, if you do hear it, I'm going to cut it all out.
That or they're going to blame it on me.
Yep, Eric did it.
That too.
Is any mic issues is my fault.
Yes.
What did Santa sing when he went down the chimney?
I'm coming for you.
That's not a song, buddy, but good try.
It's the title.
You could sing it. I'm fucking coming for you.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
It.
I had to look up some Christmas jokes.
Goodness gracious.
'Cause
Okay.
if we're all going to be goofy, then we may as well make it Christmas themed, right?
Alicia
That's
doesn't
true.
want us to be goofy.
Why are Christmas trees better than men?
Why?
Why?
Even the small ones give satisfaction. Okay, guys, I have one more joke. Why was the snowman smiling?
Why?
He could see the snowblower coming from down the street.
I don't get it. Can you explain?
The snowblower was going to suck his snowman dick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny then.
Yeah.
Thanks
All I
for-
can think of is the
funny.
Olaf. Oh, I love it even more now.
Oh, God.
I have an innocent mind.
Yes, of course you do. You never think about blowjobs.
Ever.
Never.
I don't like blowjobs. They hurt my throat. I stole that joke. I can't take credit.
Christ.
God.
Okay. I got some Am I the Asshole stories for y'all.
You're the asshole.
I think you might like these.
You're a dick.
He gets his moment. We like wrecked on him in the snake hole.
I know.
So
Yeah, I felt bad listening back to it. I was like,
It was great.
did I
It
pick
was
on
great.
Eric too hard?
No.
There was a whole intro modeled after f***ing on me.
You want to
Modeled
fuck on me?
after f***ing on me.
I didn't know what word
I
to
fuck
use.
on you.
You want to f*** on me?
I hate you guys.
I was literally struggling to come up with something.
I'm gonna think about this every time I look at that patch that I'm gonna put on that jacket. It's like, if you touch me, I will fuck you. I'm so excited to get that sewn on.
I'm glad you liked it.
I
'cause
love it.
I wasn't going to do anything with them, but I also felt really bad for getting rid of them because
Well, now
it
it's
is
good because your friend will wear it around you and you can
Yeah.
still see them.
Christ. Okay. Am I the asshole for calling my wife ridiculous for saying that she won't attend my family's Christmas over some stockings?
What?
Ooh, are we gonna give our like initial take and then our take at the end?
I want to hear your initial take.
Okay, read the title for one more time.
Okay. Am I the asshole for calling my wife ridiculous for saying that she won't attend my family's Christmas party over some stockings?
So
Ooh.
on only that information, I'd say not the asshole because they might just have different traditions.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so my mind went immediately. I was trying to guess, not the asshole.
Okay.
Because I had a whole nother thing going on in my brain, but it's too much right now.
But I want to place a bet that the story has something to do with the stockings being like
Ridiculous.
like super racist
Yeah.
or something. Like
Or uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like they don't use stockings at all. Like it just isn't a thing. And like her wanting to bring stockings into the picture is just like unacceptable for her family.
Ooh, podcast idea: predicting "Am I the asshole?" stories and then seeing
That'd be
who's
fun.
closest.
We still need to do one with all four of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you're all wrong.
Okay.
Damn.
My mom has a tradition for every Christmas, and that is to get custom stockings with her grandchildren's names and hang those stockings near the fireplace. My wife and I have been together for 3 years. She has a son who is my stepchild from a former marriage. When she found out about the tradition that my mother has, she expects that my stepson will get his own custom stocking and be hanged along with the other kids. I asked my mom, and she said that she loves her step-grandchild, but does not feel comfortable yet to have a stocking of his name and hang it in her home. Apparently, my wife refused to drop it and chose it as the hill to die on, and even though she told me she would not be, and even told me she would not be attending the Christmas party if my mom doesn't do it. We started arguing about it for days. I finally blew up and told her that it was not reasonable for me or her to dictate how my mother decorates her home and what stocking she hangs. She started crying and called me blind for not seeing how my family is treating my stepson. I said they love him and some stocking isn't going to prove anything. She said she wouldn't go, and I called her ridiculous for deciding not to go over something so trivial.
You're the asshole. You're a fucking total piece of shit.
Dick.
Also, the stepson is 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
First of all, don't marry someone who you're not ready to accept their kid as your family, because even if you say that you are, obviously your family sees through it.
Yep.
Or maybe you do love him like your own and your mom's not accepting it, then you stand up to your mom and say, fine, then me and my children, including the stepson who is now your child, will not be attending your Christmas. Don't bother putting up any of their stockings.
Or putting presents under the tree because
Yeah.
we won't be there.
So can we guess the Reddit commenters' consensus?
Oh, they're all going to agree that he's the asshole.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. He's a dickhead. Like
The only thing that I will say is like he's a little right with like he's still the asshole. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. He's still the asshole, but he does make a valid point in that like depending on who the person is, like the mom or the grandmother for this,
She doesn't have to be comfortable.
a stocking isn't going to prove that she loves that kid or is accepting of him. But I get where the wife is coming from.
It's the blatant, like,
Yeah.
we're asking you to do this, and it's the disrespect of I'm not comfortable with.
yeah.
Like, even if it wasn't your kid, if it was like, my wife's sister's kid is staying with us for Christmas, let's put a stocking up for him.
Yeah.
I feel like I would die on that hill, even if it wasn't my kid, because it's a child and it's
you
Christmas.
wanna
Off.
Included.
If I knew your
Yeah.
friends' kids were coming for Christmas because they weren't going anywhere else, I would make sure that they had a stocking.
Yeah.
Exactly. Especially because this kid is 9, right? Say the kid goes over there for Christmas, right? There's 4 other stockings on the freaking mantle with their name
Yeah.
on it. They're 9 years old. They can read their name. They're going to see that there's not one there for them, and they're going to be like, why don't I have one? Why did
Yeah,
everybody
it'd
else
be different
get
if it
one?
was like a teenager and they were like, didn't really care, but
Yeah.
it's a child.
The top comment on this says 3 years isn't enough. Your mom's a real piece of work. And somebody replied, and OP is a real piece of work for supporting mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those weird mama's boy situations where they won't stand up to their mom, and it's weird when guys are like that.
Yeah.
It makes me really uncomfortable and gives me flashbacks to my previous marriage.
Yeah. Pretty easy one there.
I would like to shout out my mom for never having to put me in that kind of situation.
Yeah, your mom's great.
Yeah. My mom's just a good person in general.
Your mom had like a Christmas gift for me under the tree when we were dating for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
It was really cute.
That's
Yeah,
sweet.
the
And you
very
didn't even get it.
Yeah, because we broke up before.
Yeah, we'd been dating for 9 months. I didn't come home after I got out of the army because I was dating him, and we moved in together. And my parents still welcomed him home for Christmas.
Literally
and had
the very-
presents for him and everything.
Yeah.
The very first thing her dad ever gave me is a knife. I still keep it in my truck. The very day one of me meeting him, right? Like, still very welcomed into the family.
He was trying to tell
And
you that
y'all
you
are
made
adults.
the cut.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. If it
Yeah.
was kids,
I'll roll for it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no. The fact that they're not willing to do that for a child is insane.
What'd you get?
it's
Oh, nat
hilarious.
20.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, excuse me.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Grayson.
Wow.
Thank you. That's quite enough. Eric. All right, he's in his right now. Thank you.
God.
Thank you.
That's the first time you've ever rolled good enough.
I've never rolled good on the fucking podcast.
I don't think anyone even heard the joke except for you.
I know.
didn't
Well,
hear
yeah, I heard
Made
it.
the
I
cut.
just stared at him.
I did not hear what you said.
Because you two were still talking, and I was just like,
I heard the joke.
Oh.
I was multitasking.
okay,
Okay, so.
we got this earth. It's round.
Round.
Fiery missiles.
Thank you.
What?
I am little tired.
then
Zing, go
take
take a
care.
nap. Zing fires and missiles.
It's an old internet
That's
video.
how we know that you're younger
Old.
than all of us.
Yeah.
It was like
I'm
before
only,
YouTube
like-
was even around.
Not even a whole year younger than you, Alicia.
I know, but I know that joke.
Yeah, that's because you're married to an old man, or almost married.
Okay.
I
Man.
came into this relationship knowing that joke.
But I'm little tired.
I say that all the time. Okay. Am I the asshole for not allowing my sister to make her kids' food at my house during our Christmas party?
So far, yes.
Yeah. So far,
Yeah.
Because again, it's a child. Anyway, there's only one thing
Any more
worse
to
than
add into
rapists.
I mean,
Child.
my
No.
mind immediately goes to either she's crunchy, so she wants them to have like very specific meals, which is fine. She's the parent, your family, you should be able to use each other's kitchen for that kind of thing. Or B, like they have dietary allergy like restrictions of some kind.
Yeah.
I can't wait. This story has 3 edits at the bottom of it.
Oh God, it's gonna be drama.
I can think of one scenario where they're not the asshole.
Me too, and it's
And-
that if it's the opposite, like she's wanting to cook food that's bad, like that the kids that actually live there can't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
And
I
that's
was
not okay.
or I was thinking like, yeah, like the parent just wants to feed the kid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like really bad food.
Literal
Yeah.
shit.
Okay. I come from a broken home, so we have our Christmas with mom's side of the family the first weekend of December. I, 44 male, hosted. Usually my sister and I switch off host duties. My sister has 2 daughters who are incredibly picky eaters, and they are 18 and 15 years old. My sister would come to family parties with a box of pasta and a bag of frozen chicken tenders that she'll make for her daughters. I want to know if I'm the asshole for what I did here. I knew that this is her drill with them, but I've always found it to be very annoying, especially when I'm trying to cook and she's taking up space making pasta and chicken tenders. This year, I told my wife we will not be letting my sister in the kitchen, and the girls will have the choice of eating what I prepared or not eating. My sister accused me of being a cynic and getting joy from watching the girls be uncomfortable. I told her they're old enough to eat like adults. Also, the food I make is pretty standard. I do a filet roast, barbecue ribs, cheesy potatoes, stuffed artichoke, breaded cauliflower, ratatouille, and a salad.
That sounds amazing.
What the shit?
And certainly some of these must be foods that an 18 and a 50-year-old should be able to eat. Well, the girls sat and ate bread and butter while telling me that my food looked gross. I looked to my sister to calm them down, but she told me I deserved this and it's not their fault for being picky eaters. I know I could have just let my sister do her thing, but it was the principle of the situation. I'm not sure if I was being a petty asshole or if I had a legitimate reason to be upset.
So far, I changed my answer before we hear the edits.
I'm
Not
kind
the
of in the
asshole.
middle.
I'm almost on the fence too.
Because, so on the one hand, I feel like if it's always been the standard and you know that they're not going to eat what you cook and they're family,
Yeah.
like sometimes you put up with some stuff that annoys you for your family and let them cook their ridiculous meal so that they can all enjoy a holiday. If it was just a regular day and they invited them for dinner and they did that, I'd get annoyed. But if it's a holiday and you're trying to be together as a family, like I think let them cook their stupid food.
Like 2 or 3 times a year. Right?
I think mom needs to like maybe address how she parents that led them to not want to try any other food, but that's not on the brother. But at the same time, if there's not enough oven space and it's annoying and like I feel like it could have been approached better. Like you need to bring it pre-cooked and you guys can heat it up here.
Yes.
But you can't be cooking it here because there's not going to be room in the oven. But I don't think like not telling them that in advance and then also not providing a way for them to cook their own food. Because what if it had been that they have a family member that's showing up there that's gluten intolerant and wants to cook their own food or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm waiting on Ryan's response and I'll go through the edits.
Yeah.
I think the kids are the assholes because at 15, 16 to 18 years old, like you're old enough, you're cognitive thinking, you know what you're doing.
At those ages, you think you're an adult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stop being an asshole and try the man's food that he like prepared for you. Or anyone, and that anyone prepared for.
That I agree, but it sounds like they've been like
enabled.
by their mom that whole time, so it's not really their fault. You know what I mean?
Okay, so edit number 1, there are no medical conditions or food allergies. Edit number 2, I made it clear to my sister well in advance that I would not be allowing this, and she decided not to listen.
Okay.
Edit number 3, I am willing to compromise. If the girls really won't try new things, my sister can make their food at her home and bring it.
I agree with that. I think that's. I want to say like everyone's an asshole here. You know what I mean?
Personally, like as somebody who also grew up a picky eater and my dad was always annoyed by it, like you got to grow up and eat different foods. You can't eat chicken nuggets and fries your whole life. You do have to try different things. B, I was also raised in a house where it's very disrespectful if you won't try somebody's food. It's okay if you don't like it, but it's disrespectful that you won't try it and you're completely unwilling to participate in a family activity.
Yep.
Like you're disrespecting your family members.
Not only that, but like if you were to go to a friend's house and do some shit like that, right? Like that's so disrespectful.
But that's on the mother.
That's what I was about to
Because
say.
she's enabled that behavior.
Yes.
You can't blame the kids for that at all. Even if they are 15 and 18 now, it sounds like this has been their whole life kind of scenario.
Yeah.
So
it's very privileged, but it's because their mother did
They're
them.
also old enough now to know what they're doing though. They like
yeah, but you didn't grow up in a house where like a mom babied you like that. Whereas like, I'm not going to point out anyone's names, but maybe on the car ride home, I can give you some examples of people I know who were like that. And you can see the way they act compared
and how those
to
behaviors
you.
affect them as adults.
Yeah.
like, it hurts them and like their development.
Yeah, like they're mentally like not where they can make choices like that.
Yeah, it makes you hard to make decisions. It makes you incapable of working with other people like that too. Because, if you have adults as friends and your friend's like, hey, I want to cook you dinner. And you're like, okay. And then you bring a bag of frozen chicken tenders to their house when they wanted to cook you dinner.
Yeah.
Like you're an asshole, and you don't even realize it.
Like imagine when we had the Friendsgiving and like there was a certain friend that just wouldn't touch anything that we cooked and would only eat whatever they brought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, why are you even here?
Yeah, like it's weird.
But
It
in
sets
that
you up
scenario,
for bad social situations.
At least they'd be bringing it to share with the group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've done that. I'm not going to lie. I've done that before. I've gone to people's houses where I know their house is disgusting and that they don't clean their kitchen and I don't want to eat their food. And I will be like, let me contribute. And then I will take a small amount of their food on my plate, not eat it, but make it, like, oh, that was good. Thank you for cooking for me.
Yeah.
Eat my food. But, like, you find a respectful way around it.
Yeah.
Not just, you need to make room in my kitchen or in your kitchen because,
Yeah.
Or, like, then they need to plan on not eating at all. Like, not joining them at the table or something.
Yeah.
And then just going out for McDonald's afterwards or something.
Well, like, I mean, at that point, because, like, you can just literally show up after dinner. Right? You don't need to be there for the dinner.
That's
you
a
can show
really
up
good
after,
point, actually.
You can show up after dinner. You've already made dinner for them at home.
Mm-hmm.
You go there, you're full, and then there's literally no issue with you wanting to eat their food or not eat their food.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and you don't even
Keep
have to
your-
announce it. Just say, hey, I'm going to be a little late to your party, but we're still coming.
Yeah.
Say, don't wait for us on dinner, but we will be there.
Yeah. 'Cause we're gonna
I've
cook dinner.
never understood the moms like that either. That like, because my mom was the same way, where it was like, you eat what's put in front of you or you don't eat. Like, and it was never like something gross.
Yeah.
Like, she'd never expect me to eat something I wasn't supposed to. But like, I don't know. It's weird because I know the type of mom that'll be like, my kids, you know what I mean? Like, where no matter what they want, they're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like iPad kids, like
Yeah.
nowadays, where a lot of kids are going to grow up that way.
Yeah.
Like, I still, as an adult, get roasted when I eat chicken nuggets from my dad. So,
Yeah.
like, I get it as
Chicken
a chicken.
nuggets are delicious.
They are, but like I get it as a chicken nugget kid. I was a picky eater. I really struggled to try new things, and as an adult, I've grown out of that. But that was also something I had to learn to do. And my parents, when I was a teenager, had to enforce: hey, either you're going to eat what we cook, or you're not going to eat, or
gonna be hungry,
or you're
yeah.
going to learn to cook for yourself.
Yeah.
And I learned to cook for myself. And you know what? I got bored of chicken nuggets.
Yeah. And then you start exploring on your own, but at
Yeah.
least you were pushed in some way.
See, I'm with Grayson on this. Everyone's asshole, but I think it's leaning like 60-40, 60% to the mom and the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
would
only
agree
feel like
with
the
that.
guy is an
I'd
asshole.
say 70-30 personally.
Yeah.
Mostly
Only because
because he seems very frustrated that she wants to cook in his house.
And that
Yeah.
she didn't listen to him at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's disrespecting his wishes
Yeah.
regarding an event that he is hosting in his home. If
Yeah.
it were at her house and she's the one doing all the cooking, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But like to show up, have been told in advance, hey, I don't want you cooking in my kitchen. It's a real inconvenience. And then to still come and do it anyways and be
Yeah.
like, well, that's what my kids are going to eat.
Yeah.
Especially
you're
with
a dick.
the amount of food he's cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And-
a lot with everything.
man's
Good
making
stuff.
a
Yeah, because like this dude is like cooking some good shit
Yeah.
from what it sounds like. And then having someone come in here and be like, I need a pot, I need a pan, I need this for the oven, like I need this stuff. And you're changing
Yeah.
everything that he's
I'm
doing.
like, your kids can't eat a freaking salad with some ranch on it.
Yeah.
Suck it up.
The only thing that I'll give the mom is that, like, if she had maybe out of control kids or something and can't deal with their attitudes, because it sounds like they're bitchy. Just by the way that she said, like, they were saying that his food looked bad.
Sure, but that's also her fault.
No, I know it is.
For letting her kids be
I
disrespectful.
completely agree, but if she's overwhelmed and just like this is the one thing I can do to make it easier on myself.
Yeah.
I get it, and if they've
Yeah.
been doing it for 15 damn years,
Then
and
leave them at home.
then don't invite them.
Yep.
Instead of like
Yeah.
even just setting it up for failure.
Not
Yeah.
trying to turn it into
So-
like another conversation, but if she is like a single mom and that's what she's had to do to get through,
Yeah,
it's a
you
little
never
more
know her
understandable.
situation.
But
yeah,
yeah.
so
Or just don't have children.
Yeah.
Crotch goblins.
Kid free gang.
My kid's gonna eat green beans from day one.
yeah.
Beaned greens.
I love green beans.
Me too.
All right.
Last one.
Last one. Am I the asshole for not doing anything for Christmas this year and making my husband livid?
Ooh, okay.
I feel like this is gonna be another stalking style story, like where there's some weird stuff the husband's family does, and she's like, "No, I refuse."
I feel like it's going to be that the husband won't listen to her, and so now she's like, "Fine, I'm doing nothing then," and now he's mad about it. But just from the information in the title, without guessing anything, I would say that you're the asshole for refusing to do anything for Christmas.
purely
when your
based off
husband
title.
wants to.
Yes.
Yeah, purely based off title.
My first thought was this person normally does everything.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, this person normally does every single thing involved in Christmas and probably does not get any credit for it whatsoever. And one year decided that they needed help and asked for it, and then we're told no, or in some way, shape, or form we're denied that help, and they're like, okay, cool, you can do it.
Yeah, we'll do nothing then.
Yep. Am I right?
No.
You're gonna sit there and tell me that I'm right?
I have heard stories like that though.
Yeah.
That makes me
Where-
think of the pasta sauce story that
Yeah.
went viral.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids. My husband works full-time and gets an okay salary, but he's tightened the grip on spending the past 4 months to be able to save up and go watch the football event overseas. He's literally obsessed with anything to do with football.
Soccer.
He said he rarely ever gets to do what he wants, and so I didn't want to judge him since it's his money technically. Hold it. Hold it. We discussed plans for Christmas, and he told me to handle everything since he won't be back until December 20th. He told me he'd put aside money for Christmas decorations, food, gifts, kids' needs, etc. The money in total was $100. I was completely shocked. I told him $100 for an entire family's Christmas celebration was ridiculously not enough. He shrugged and said, it's all he's got. But I pointed out how he's paying for himself, his friends, and his friend's girlfriend's travel expenses. He told me just to take it, but I told him that if he decided to leave me with just $100, then I won't be doing anything for Christmas. We had a lot of arguments and couldn't get this resolved. He's in Qatar now, left days ago. Yesterday, while I was cleaning and found an envelope with the same $100 and a note from him telling me to make it work. I sent him a message that said I decided I won't be doing anything for Christmas with this little money, period. He's livid. He just keeps sending me angry messages and calling me spoiled and telling me to stop expecting to live like I was still living in my parents' house and to stop trying to rob the kids of enjoying the holidays like the other kids.
In that context, not the.
Yeah. You need to divorce that guy.
Yeah, seriously, run.
Like before he gets home from whatever trip, pack your children and get out, because that's
put them in the suitcase and
that's
go.
That's some deeply selfish, narcissistic, scary shit.
Oh.
The top comment with 40,000 upvotes is, this sounds like financial abuse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why is it his money when you're in charge of a household, administration, and care while he waltzes off with his friends to pay thousands of dollars to watch a bunch of overpaid idiots? I guess
Idiot?
it's EEJUTS.
It's like idiots.
Yeah. We say idiots.
I know, it's just that they spelled it EEJUTS. Overpaid idiots kick a ball around a stadium built on eco-destruction and human rights violations. No sane person from this century could pull off a Christmas with $100 unless they go in for petty theft on a grand scale. Ultimatum time, he treats you as an equal financially, or you leave and get child support.
Yeah, because first thing, you're married. It's not his money.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot more in child support.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wish she said the ages of the children, but she is a stay-at-home mom with 3 children.
Yeah.
And he does all of the work
So, like, regardless.
in an office.
Kids. Again, all 3 of these stories, have you noticed, are, like, surrounding around, like, the kids being put in, like, weird positions?
Yep.
Yeah. In the holidays, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, the kids, like, it's the age, no matter the age of them. I don't... 0 years old to 18 years old. If you're just denying, like... Here's $100, figure it out. Like, no, fuck you,
It's
eat
still
my
your
ass.
child.
Yeah, that's still your kid.
With a spoon.
Yeah. That,
What fucks me up is the paying to go overseas for a soccer game and paying for 2 other people's expenses.
Yep.
That's thousands of dollars that you took out of your children's pockets.
you could have still went by yourself and used the rest of that money.
Yeah.
You know?
Told your buddy, like, hey, you're on your own. It's Christmas
Figure it out.
time.
Yep.
I have to give Christmas to my family.
Yeah.
And, like, I would understand if it was, like, a discussed thing, like, hey, I know it's going to be a lot of work for you, but can you handle Christmas this year? Because I really want to go on this trip.
Oh, and made
here's
spending-
$2,000 or something.
And made spending stricter for the last 4 months so that he could afford to go on this trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Him. Run. Get out of the house. That's
Also, yeah, just her comment that, like, I never say anything because it's technically his money.
absolutely not.
Not if you're a stay-at-home wife.
Nope.
If you're a stay-at-home wife, then that's your job, and you're working for your half of his money because
Yep.
you are taking care of the house.
And then
So-
and then the gaslighting of going back around and accusing her of robbing the kids of a good Christmas.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's like emotional abuse,
I
100%.
can't.
Yeah, she needs to run.
I want a response from the husband.
I know. I
That's-
love the Reddit stories where they find it and respond.
Yeah.
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 Or like a family member.
And some of
member comes
them,
on.
it's
Grabs
crazy
popcorn.
because it's like the wrong story. And then when you hear the other person's side, you're like, oh, now I'm changing teams.
There
It's
was a really
crazy.
good one
Yeah.
recently on Two Hot Takes, though, about a mom
I heard this one.
who had gone to her, like, they were divorced. She went to her children's birthday party, those
The
2 twin
twins.
sons, and got them both Nintendo Switches and showed up, and that everybody was
yeah.
an asshole to her, and they were so mean. and garnered all this sympathy that she was like the black sheep of her family.
And just thousands of comments about like, oh, we're so sorry.
Oh, yeah.
It's horrible.
But then her daughter heard about it.
No, excuse me.
And was
told
like,
the real story.
Let me clear up the story. And and she wasn't even mentioned in the story because she was hiding from her mother because her mother was horribly abusive.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's always good to remember there's another side to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's
where
always
we don't know,
another side.
maybe this woman last year on Christmas spent dude's life savings on Christmas and he's getting back at her this year. You know what I mean?
That guy, and he's probably got a girlfriend.
Still not fair for the kids, regardless.
Probably one of the girlfriends he said one of his friends was.
Yeah.
Yeah, like once you have kids, like that's it. Or it's like
your
it's
holidays revolve around them now.
No,
Yes.
not even your holidays. Like it's
Well, I know, but
your entire life. Like
since it's the holiday episode though, and
But I mean, like, there's no getting back. There's no like going back and forth with another adult. Like, no, like what's priority number one? What's gonna work for this kid and what's gonna help them develop and grow the way they need to? It's no more of this like, I want to go to a football game.
Make them eat good food and let them enjoy Christmas is what we're going down to.
Well, and y'all mentioned too that like kids came up in every story, and it just really goes to show how so many people use children as poker chips.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I was
And
getting
chess
at.
pieces
Yeah.
and their relationships, and like kids are people, and you're just destroying them one day at a time.
That's how trauma happens.
They're fragile, undeveloped little people that, just they need you. They need the parents to guide them, not use them as
a paycheck or something to hang over someone else's
something to
head.
manipulate somebody with.
Yep.
Yeah,
I say it all the time, but there is so many terrible people in the world.
Yeah,
so many. There's a lot of good people too. Don't get me wrong.
That's
There's
why
so
I watch
many bad
Support Court
ones.
and laugh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He does watch a lot of Support Court. It's kind of funny.
But yeah, no, that I can't even. Like I don't even know. So like when you're in a relationship like that, right? Like your money is combined. It don't matter if only one person is working, right?
Yeah.
That is a whole nother human being that you were responsible for. You would have had to have had some level of agreement that they are going to be doing this particular thing, knowing that they will not be bringing any money into the house. And
But
that you are there to support them.
Yeah, and they're increasing value in your life in other ways that are worth the financial loss.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? And then him literally restricting anything that she was doing, more than likely because of the spending he needed to go take this trip. By the way, more than likely is 2 plane rides away because she said Qatar. I've been out that way. It's like an 18-hour plane ride.
Yeah.
It's ugh. I don't even want
to go
to
on the
think
record
about
as saying, "F your football game, dude."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and yourself.
yeah, and
But
yourself.
yeah, no, like I was in the beginning like very uncertain about talking about finances with Alicia.
Yeah.
But I've gotten a lot better about it where we constantly ask each other how much we have in our bank accounts and
I mean, you
share that
kind of have
stuff.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Like,
open
you
my
need
app
to
and I
know
go,
that
"That's
stuff.
how much we have."
Well, yeah.
Honestly, no. The way when I describe our finances, I feel like finances is actually a good topic on this one because it is the holidays and it's such a financial struggle for some people. But like the way we've been doing it almost sounds like those people and whenever I describe our finances, my friends kind of look at me like that's controlling because Ryan has all of our money pretty much all the time. And I just have to ask him for it when I want it.
But I never deny anything.
Yeah.
First of all, though, that was my idea.
Yeah.
Because I'm not great with money. I'm not terrible with it, but I'm not great with it.
Quick side note to what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm you.
Yeah.
I wanted to have our accounts to where she could look at the money and basically tell me, hey, don't spend money on dumb shit.
Well, yeah, it's
You
accountability.
did have a really bad habit for a while.
Yeah.
You got better, though.
It's accountability for me, first of all. Secondly, he makes most of the money in our relationship.
Yeah.
My check is like, what, maybe a quarter the size of yours?
Maybe.
You know, probably like maybe a little more than that, but it's not that much. So it's, any big purchases we're making are coming out of his finances for the most part, and they're our finances. We're married.
Yeah.
And, but basically we had separate accounts. Like, we're starting now that I have this new job to just share one. Mm-hmm. But I always just sent my whole check to him as soon as I got it. Like, it direct deposited into my separate account. And if I needed to make a purchase or something, or I had like a prepaid bill that came out of my account, I'd leave enough for that. But I would just send him all of it. And then I don't even have the password for his bank or anything. I don't know how much money we have right now.
Not that I won't give it to her.
Yeah,
it's just
no,
a ridiculously complicated
I just
password.
don't care. Like, I know that he's never gonna let us miss a bill. Mm-hmm. And it's just something that, like, he doesn't mind stressing about and dealing with, and probably feels more comfortable than if I were the one dealing with it, since I'm not quite as responsible as him. Mm-hmm. And it's one less thing I have to even look at and care about.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, too, because actually when we were at break the other day at work, and you're like, oh, I'm going to text Ryan to see if I can get money so I can get a snack.
Yeah.
And my brain's first reaction was like, that's really weird. And then I was like, oh, wait, Grayson pays the rent.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah, like, it's not that I don't pay bills and stuff. It's just that I let...
Because it does sound weird off the cuff, but, like, there's reasons for it, and it's a system that works for you guys.
Yeah, and it's just like the way that we pay our bills, right? So, like, all the rent comes out of your account. I just send you
he
my
sends
part
me
of it.
half of his rent. Like, we have some bills that we split, and we'll just send each other the money for it.
Yeah, like the car payment comes out of your account.
But
the phone bill comes out of mine.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it's all split up
That's
separately.
too confusing for me.
Yeah, and
We just have certain bills that we each pay. And most of
Yeah.
there's only 2 bills that we actually split, and it's the rent and my car payment.
Yeah.
Which is what we did with my truck
And
payment
they both come
before.
out the same time of the month. So on our last paycheck of the month, I'm like, hey, send me this much.
Yep.
And just the reason, like, part of the reason we did it the way we do it is because everything just comes out of my account.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that
That's
makes
why
sense.
she sends it to me. So the rent comes out, the electricity, the gas,
Yeah.
food, car payments, insurance, everything just comes out of my account.
Yeah.
And that
And
makes
then-
sense because it is simpler that way.
And you can track it a lot
Yeah.
easier, and it's you don't forget something because I don't have her $50 or whatever.
also, like, in Ryan's head, when we hit, like, a couple $100 in the account, he thinks we're broke.
Same.
When I hit under 500, I'm like, we got.
For me,
chill.
it's like $50
Oh,
before
I
I
was
feel
lo-
like I'm broke.
See, that's bad.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I would rather not know what's in there.
Oh, yeah,
and
no.
I know when he starts telling me, like, I don't know if we can swing that we probably still have $400 or $500 in
I'm
the
where
Yeah.
I'm where
And-
you're at right now.
My
I was
brain-
you like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
My brain sets a limit. It used to be 300. For some reason, when I saw a 3 at the beginning of the money in my account, I was like, okay, I'm poor. I can't buy anything else.
Yeah.
My brain recently has actually jumped that number to about 600. And I'm actually having to talk myself back out of it. I'm like, no. 600
You'll be
is
okay.
plenty of
Yeah.
money. You can
Yeah.
buy McDonald's if you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
$6 isn't going to kill you.
Like, I just sold, like, before we started the podcast, I mentioned I went to Guitar Center
Yeah.
and sold 4 guitars and 2 speaker cabinets. And, like, I won't say on the podcast how much, but I walked out of there with a wad of cash in my pocket.
Yeah.
And it was almost in the thousands.
Yeah.
And she was like, all right, that's awesome. We have a little extra. We can get Christmas gifts. And the first thing I said to her, I was like, oh, we might need to hold on to it because I don't know if we're going to, like, pop a tire or if you need to get something fixed
Yeah.
on your car. Or, like,
We do need to buy some Christmas gifts.
we
though,
are,
so
and we are,
we
and
haven't
we
bought
are,
any yet.
we are. But, like, just my anxiety, the only, like, little bit of anxiety I have is, like, making sure I have enough money to cover if something happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
it just
what-
gives me peace of mind knowing that.
Well, and I
don't to
have
think
a
about
separate
it.
savings account with at least 4 digits in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I
Same.
have good savings to the side, but I pretend that money doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, I don't.
That's so hard.
I
for me
really
to
try
do.
not to pull
So,
out
like-
of it unless there's something happen. But I'm also really bad about saving. I haven't added very much to that account for the last few years.
But you
Yeah.
used to be very good at it.
I used to be
until
really good at it.
Yeah.
And then financial things change and happen.
Yeah.
And now I also save differently, though.
Yeah.
So my bills are covered and I spend everything else that I have pretty much, which I shouldn't. But,
Yeah.
you know, I'll try to change that.
And
habit.
like I didn't save it all before we got together.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was so in debt that I couldn't do anything.
was
My paychecks
worrying.
were gone the moment I got them.
And that's the way I was a couple years ago, and I'm
Same.
finally getting myself out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm finally getting in the mindset of like, no, you don't need to max out your credit card to do
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, no, I got to the point where so like they increased my Discover card like a month and a half ago, I think.
Yeah.
Like because it was a prepaid one because I was literally just trying to rebuild my credit, which is going really well. I got an email. They're like, "Oh, we changed you to this and increased it to that," and I was like, "All right, cool. I need to put money
So it's
on
not
this."
a prepay anymore. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
like-
best feeling.
I know, it's so awesome because like the first time I've ever had that happen, I was like, "Cool. I need to put money on this and just let it sit and just pay it off." It's like the first thing I bought was the sewing machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He like started looking at them, and I was like, I don't want to buy that right now. Like, I don't feel like I have the money. He's like, I need to put money on a credit card.
Yeah.
Because like
That
I
was
just need
me.
to pay it off. I just need that
was
money
Alicia.
there That way I know, or that way it shows that like I have this much money in credit, because that was one of the biggest things that when I bought my motorcycle, they're like, you don't have any credit. Like,
it's not that it's bad.
Whatsoever.
You just don't have anything. Yeah.
Which is weird. I'm 32.
Yeah.
I paid off 2 vehicles.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but once they're paid off, they just close them out.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I did not know that until after the fact, right? So like
that's
it
part
took
of
me
our
a
next
long time.
That's part of our next like 6 to 8 month. It's feeling like it's going to be longer because of the.
It doesn't take long.
Anyway, that's part of our next like 6 to 8 month is get like every bit of like any kind of loan money down to 25%.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just letting it hover at like 20 to 30%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
That's exactly like, and it'll give you, so what I do is I check the Credit Karma every once in a while, because it'll give you the suggestions for like points and stuff like that too. Because it got to a point where one of them was like, hey, if you pay off like $87 of this one, it'll jump you like 5 points.
Yeah.
So like you get those random little things like that too. But I didn't mean to turn this into finance cast.
No, it's cool. I'm actually like, I should go put some money on my credit card right now.
But it's
And we're
one of
actually
those
really
things.
broke right now.
I feel like we do our finances like that too because that's how my parents did it.
Yeah.
And I like tend to, without even realizing it, like do things that my mom did.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that finance stuff about on here, but it was hard in the beginning. I was very self-conscious about my finances. It got us into trouble, me specifically, and a lot of money when we were very early on in our relationship. But
And it's not easy to dig out of.
no,
It is not.
no, and honestly, a lot of it came from her.
We are
a bunch of money came from her savings and stuff like that. to
Yeah,
help me.
I don't want to be that asshole. It sounds like I like rescued you from it, but
I mean, you
truly
did.
without my savings, you would not be out of debt today.
No, I wouldn't have.
We are incredibly lucky to get in the situation we're about to get into to where
Yeah.
we can get. Because we're going to completely get both of ourselves out of both our holes we're in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that way when it comes time to like buy the house, like we're good. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
And that's awesome because there are so many people nowadays who just get into a house, a $300,000, $350,000 house.
Yeah.
and
No
have
down
20K
payment.
in debt
Yeah.
already.
And then they're like, I got a house, yay. And I'm like, all right, cool. You're $350,000 in debt.
It's
You didn't put down
$2,200
payment
bucks
on
a
it.
month.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They're gonna get foreclosed on.
Yeah.
Yeah, as somebody who grew up in that situation and didn't know it, it looks really cool until you get kicked out of your house because you can never really afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it
I
looks
want
great.
like an old dingy house that I can make cute on my own. Honestly,
Right.
I'm like
Yeah.
totally down for that.
I kind of weirdly like that smell of an old musty house.
Yeah,
Like kind of
It's
the way the
lived in.
basement smells a little bit. I kind of like that smell for some reason.
Scrumbly.
I don't mind
Scrungly.
it.
Little
I-
scrumblo.
I've always wanted like one of those like really cheap like older Victorian homes
Yeah.
that I can
Ooh.
redo on my own, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Cool. So, since we've been on a little bit of heavier topics for a little bit, I have one final Christmas question.
Okay.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Ooh.
Night Before Christmas.
Valid.
Oh man, I have to rack my brain.
Die Hard.
Really?
Everyone go before me because I never like even growing up like never really did Christmas movies.
I'm a basic bitch, but mine is Elf.
Elf's a good
It's
one, though.
so great. It's so
I don't
funny.
really
I like
care
Elf.
for it that much.
Oh,
Mine's-
you're
okay.
You don't like Will
incorrect.
Ferrell.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm not a big Will Ferrell person. It's just not my kind of comedy. It's a cute movie, but I watched it once and I'm like, okay, I never need to see that
I
again.
love it.
I'm extra basic. I love How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh,
Will
yeah, that
always
one's
be my
good,
favorite.
too.
Both the original animated version and I really like the Jim Carrey one.
Yeah.
I'm really basic. Die Hard.
I knew it.
Oh my god.
No, I don't know if I really have a favorite one because like growing up we never really probably Charlie Brown Christmas because that's like
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
cute.
that's the classic
Yeah.
that's always on, you know, and because like growing up like we always watched like not violent movies but like action movies,
Yeah.
funny movies, so we never really did Christmas movies.
My dad always makes us watch A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
It's always on Christmas Day,
Yeah.
just on a loop.
Or that National Lampoon movie. What is it?
Christmas Vacation. Why did I forget about that
Yeah.
one? That's like one that we watch every year.
I've never seen
don't think I've
that.
That and
seen
Elf
that.
are my favorites. You have not seen? Okay,
I think so.
We have to have a Christmas movie night.
Okay.
Right after you watch Smile with us.
I thought you guys already watched it.
We did.
No, we're not gonna.
You haven't
rewatch
watched it, though.
We'll rewatch it.
I'll watch it with Ryan, and then we'll watch.
And
Christmas Vacation.
And we all have to watch Young Frankenstein.
They blow up a cat.
Rude.
Yeah. Well, the cat blows itself up technically.
We also got 2 episodes into Death Note, and I personally love it so far.
I am struggling
You're a
to
little
stay
indifferent with
interested
still.
in it.
Yeah.
We're only 2 episodes in though.
I was like, yeah, it's
I'm gonna
like
keep trying.
I will say at the beginning it's a little slow because it's just like light on a power trip, but like once they get into like the investigation stuff and it's like everybody's
Yeah.
making power moves, then it's good.
If you're cool with it, I might just start watching it.
I mean, I want to still give it a try. I just like
I'm just getting impatient. I want what happens? What happens?
Yeah.
yeah. I'm a little interested in the like L dude. So I
Yeah.
want to see what that is, but otherwise I'm just like
Fucking love L. He's
I'm
so
just kinda like-
memeable.
Dude, he like wrecked that guy in the second episode.
Yeah.
Like just absolutely, yeah. Anyway.
Great show. Well, this was Roll for Funny. You can check us out on Spotify and YouTube. Spotify for fun, YouTube if you're lame. Please rate, comment, subscribe. We love getting comments so that we can talk crap about you later. Just
Tell us
kidding.
what your favorite gift was.
Tell us what your favorite gift does. If you don't celebrate Christmas, what do you celebrate instead? Grayson is Glim Goggles with a Z on Twitch. Ryan is Unryaned on pretty much everything. They're going to be off Twitch for just a brief hiatus of the next 6 months or so.
Yee.
You can check me out at hey_foxy_lady, mostly on TikTok.
And Eric doesn't have social media.
Get wrecked.
I'm gonna make you a social media page just so you could read off one like, yeah, I'm Vapey Boy 420 on Instagram.
It'll be a
XX16.
Twitter page that just says I don't do social media is the only tweet, and then he never uses
I
it.
have all social media. I have an Instagram. I have a Facebook. I have
That's
TikTok.
funny.
I have all of those. I just don't post.
Yeah.
Make you
I
a new one and
don't-
call it Stretch Mark.
Oh, you guys
And then I'll make one called Monica.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't post. I don't make videos. It's not my thing. So
Yeah.
remember-
Oh, and y'all keep an eye out for the next
Roll for Wifeys.
It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna make slime.
Oh, hell yeah.
Slim.
We need to make another channel and call it Roll for Daddies.
Oh my God.
Well,
for cat dads.
on that note, bye.
Bye.